Ukrainian forces repelled a Russian offensive on the southern front, following the withdrawal of Kyiv's troops from the devastated eastern town of Avdiivka, the Ukrainian military said on Sunday. Ukraine's army chief Oleksandr Syrsky said on Saturday that Kyiv's troops withdrew from Avdiivka to avoid encirclement following months of fierce Russian attacks, Moscow's biggest advance since its troops captured the city of Bakhmut last May. Defense forces in the Zaporizhzhia sector defeated yesterday's Russian offensive, Ukrainian military said on Telegram messaging app. The military said defeated a Russian offensive in Zaporizhzhia Oblast on February 17, killing 70 troops and injuring 80, the Operational Command West reported on February 18. The offensive involved 30 pieces of equipment and a fairly large number of enemy troops. Ukraine destroyed 18 pieces of Russian equipment, including 3 tanks, according to Kyiv, as the Kremlin's forces gained ground along the eastern front lines. Russian forces lost 3 tanks in the attack in Ukraine's southern Zaporizhzhia region on Saturday, Ukraine's Western Operational Command said in a statement on Sunday. Ukraine's military did not provide additional details, but shared a video purportedly showing the targeting of the Russian vehicles along the southern front. The clip was also shared by the country's general staff. Since October, Russia has been slowly advancing around the city of Avdiivka, close to the regional capital of Donetsk City. On Saturday, Ukraine said it was withdrawing from the settlement to avoid its forces being encircled by Russian troops. Our soldiers honorably fulfilled their military duty, did everything possible to destroy the best Russian military units, and inflicted significant losses on the enemy in manpower and equipment, Ukraine's army chief, Colonel General Oleksandr Syrsky, said in a statement on Saturday. A prominent Russian military blogger, Rybar, said on Sunday that Russian forces were clearing and demining the areas under Moscow's control in Avdiivka. Russia has also pressed along Ukraine's northeastern defenses in recent weeks, but fighting has rumbled on in the south of Ukraine. Kyiv's military said on Sunday it had repelled more than a dozen attacks on its positions around the Zaporizhzhia village of Robotyne. The Russian Defense Ministry said on Sunday that it had taken out 70 Ukrainian soldiers and an infantry fighting vehicle along the section of the front line that includes Robotyne and the nearby village of Verbov. The Rybar account said on Sunday that Russian units had advanced up to 2 kilometers in some areas of Zaporizhzhia in recent hours, without elaborating. Newsweek has reached out to the Ukrainian military for comment. Russian forces advanced in western Zaporizhzhia, recapturing a position south of Robotyne, the U.S. think tank, the Institute for the Study of War, ISW, evaluated on Saturday. Several Russian military bloggers had reported a new offensive push from Moscow around the village, and that the Kremlin's forces were actively storming the settlement, the think tank said in its latest update. Russia claimed the capture of the Ukrainian town of Avdiivka after Ukraine withdrew, but Moscow said that some Ukrainian troops were still holed up in a vast Soviet-era coke plant after one of the most intense battles of the war. The fall of Avdiivka is Russia's biggest gain since capturing the city of Bakhmut in May 2023, and comes almost 2 years to the day since President Vladimir Putin triggered a full-scale war by ordering the invasion of Ukraine. Ukraine said it had withdrawn its soldiers to save troops from being fully surrounded after months of fierce fighting. Putin hailed the fall of Avdiivka as an important victory and congratulated Russian troops. After the failure of Ukraine to pierce Russian lines last year, Moscow has been trying to grind down Ukrainian forces just as Kyiv ponders a major new mobilization, and President Volodymyr Zelensky appoints a new commander to run the war. The head of state congratulated Russian soldiers on this success, an important victory, the Kremlin said in a statement on its website. But Russia said some Ukrainian forces were still holed up at the Soviet-era coke plant, once one of Europe's biggest, in Avdiivka, which is key to Russia's aim of securing full control of the industrial Donbas region. The Russian Defense Ministry said Russia had taken about 32 square kilometers, 12 square miles, of territory in the advance, amid heavy losses for Ukraine. It gave no figures for Russian losses, which Ukraine says are huge. Putin sent tens of thousands of troops into Ukraine in February 2022, triggering the full-scale war after 8 years of conflict in eastern Ukraine between Ukrainian forces on the one side and pro-Russian Ukrainians and Russian proxies on the other. Avdiivka, which had a pre-war population of around 32,000 and is called Avdiivka by Russians, was briefly taken in 2014 by Moscow-backed separatists, who seized a swathe of eastern Ukraine, but was recaptured by Ukrainian troops who built extensive fortifications.
Выстрел.